Okay, then we're going to just go ahead and get started. Hi, everybody. I'm Kay, and look who I have here with me. And yes, I'm not sure how it's going to show. Look, we're going to do a quick midweek check-in, and we're doing Zoom just so you could get the idea of another interface. When you're using Zoom, there's only me and Ray here, but the whole Brady Bunch thing happens. If there were more people, we would have like the 8, the 10, stuff like that, which makes it really cool. Okay? You have access to the free version, which is 40 minutes, and that 40 minutes starts exactly when you log in. If you're using the free version, I can see Catherine. Hey, Catherine.
So you have.
Hi. See? Hey. See, I wasn't lying about the Brady Bunch thing happening along the way.
Hi.
Hi. So the reason why we're doing this is just so that you can have a little extra view of what's possible. I used Google Hangout, which I love last time, but I will tell you, I didn't invite you guys in because you usually have to update an app to get in, and I wasn't going to put you through that, early Monday morning. Now, this is Zoom, and Zoom, you can get in a bit easier. So, Catherine and Ray, just jump in whenever you feel like it. I will tell you, I'm going to try and go quick so people don't have to watch a lot. So,
okay.
Let me... Yeah.
On your free version for Zoom, you get 40 minutes is for when the third person comes in. You get unlimited one-on-one. Okay. So, if you're doing just one-on-one, no big deal. When that third person comes in, you get a 40-minute clock that starts. But no big deal if your session ends, you just start a new one.
But the thing of it is, I'd only say that there's pros and cons to everything, and for some people, they'd be like, I don't want to start another one. That's too much, So we're dealing with people can pick and choose and make decisions on that.
Exactly.
On that, and yes, I wish we had an institutional version, which would be great, but we don't. So I'm going to share my screen.
Yeah, I got aims to get that.
That's great. Okay, can you guys see my screen now?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So here are our quick notes. You guys will have to represent the whole class. If you have to stop me or ask questions, do that. Okay. So these will go quick. First of all, discussions. Guess what? These are just a couple of things just to keep in mind. Part 1, make sure you get your image in there. If you're not sure, go back. Make another post, put the image in there. Not a problem. Okay, part 2 for the evolving scenario is going to go up right after this. Now, the evolving scenario is basically you take a case study and you deconstruct it and you go ahead and you put it, and I see Ray is drawing on my screen. And what you do is you go ahead and you chunk it out into different days. And the real reason is so people can't do a drive-by. So they can't go in one day, answer the question. No, they have to come back. They have to keep thinking about it. They have to reflect on it. It's not as easy as just going in one day and getting out. Now, other thing, go ahead, put in video. Go ahead and put in audio. Go ahead, put in images. Whatever you want to make it better. Okay? And you should do this when you're teaching too. The next thing I wanted to note, depending on what browser you're on, you might see this. For how people have posted Padlet, just click on it and go through, not a problem. Okay, so Netiquette's the first thing we're going to talk about. Okay, I would say, and some people have said, and even posted, I believe someone also has a mug that says, it's in the syllabus. Well, for me, I'm going to say, it's in the notes that you read before you go into discussion. We have a Netiquette. And our Netiquette for our discussion forum is every post, greeting, closing, and name. And I know, especially if you're somebody who texts a lot, that might be really not how you're used to doing things. But for our community Netiquette is you put a greeting, a closing, and you put your name at the bottom of it. And why am I having you do this? Well, quite honestly, we want you to be able to go from whatever community you're going to online. We want you to be able to go, okay, so what are the norms here? What is considered polite? What isn't considered polite? I belong to some Google Plus communities who if I make a video, the norm is I cannot post my own video there. It is not allowed. Okay? I will be told that it's a no-no and it will be taken down. Now, if I post someone else's video with a commentary about why I think it's such a great video, guess what? They leave it up. So you just got to be aware of what norms and things are happening there. Okay. And I'm just going to show you this really quickly. Now, some of you might have heard of Reddit. Some of you might go on Reddit. Some of you might love it. You might hate it. Whatever. Okay? But it's a great place to go and see online behavior. Okay? They have the best netiquette ever. So if you ever want to go there, look on Reddit. I love these things they say. Please do. First one, remember the human. I mean, it's like the best start of a netiquette ever. You know, and I always want to go, okay, everybody do that. And I see Catherine smiling a lot, which is cool. And I will tell you that one of the reasons why doing this on Zoom or Google Hangouts really cool is because you can see how your students are reacting to it, which makes a difference. Okay, discussions. This is just me being the teacher and saying, don't forget about these. You've seen them before.
Oh, sorry. I don't always explicitly keep referring, you know, because the discussion moves so fast.
Yes.
And I think in one of the initial posts, I tried to do that. And then I didn't always do that with every post in the two
Yeah, and I've been mad
areas.
about that too.
Especially with the, you know, the loopholer.
Yeah.
I didn't actually think to address those three because the issue seems so dire with the students, with the loopholers.
I know. And I do want to say something. I assess you in general on these three. Okay? So I'm going through the discussions, and I'm checking and seeing how you're addressing these. Now, for me, sometimes it's explicit. Sometimes I can look, and even though you didn't say connectivism, I know you're talking about connectivism, which is just fine for me. And the thing of it is, I go throughout the week and I read your discussions, so it's not like I'm coming at the end of the week and then just grading them. So if I'm not getting the idea that you know what this is, I will ask you a question.
Mm.
So, Catherine, if I'm not asking you a question, I'm going, you're okay.
Okay.
Okay, so the question, so what are you? These readings, just if you haven't noticed, are meant to be a little, I wouldn't say provocative, but maybe, you know, poke you a little, go, you know, where you go, I don't like that. I don't like what that person wrote. And I will tell you, especially with the loophole discussion, we are not taking a deficit mindset when it comes to students. Okay? Now, I can't say that the authors of the article didn't do that. Okay? So what we're asking you is we want you to be aware of things you will see online that you might see face-to-face and you might not see face-to-face. Okay? And then we just want you to talk it out with the other instructors. And we did have some people who already posted, you know, loophole stories that didn't end horribly. and
Can I tell you, my family member who's been teaching laughed at me, and he said, "You're such a sucker, Kathy. But you know, when you're new, you're new."
No, it's okay, and when it comes to the loopholes, you'll adjust yourself. Like, I used to be a hard liner. I used to be, you know, like, you can't put it in late. This is not how business is. I teach marketing, so this is not how businesses run. Until I had my first graduate class in game design, and something did not render at the deadline, and my professor was wonderful. He's like, "Okay, send it to me tomorrow," and I'm like, "What? I don't believe this. I'm not like this. Thank you." Thank you for, I was like, thank you, merciful deity, for stuff. So you will have to adjust it, based on your content, your style, and what's going to work. I mean, so
what you're comfortable doing.
yeah, exactly. And that's what you said, Catherine. And, like you said, oh, you're such a sucker. You're the person telling you that, or you're such a softie. It's okay. Here's the thing. If it works for you. But the big thing when it comes to that is these online students will email each other. Okay? So if you're giving an exception to one,
yeah, that's my example that I gave actually just a few minutes ago, and it was a very sensitive subject for me about death, given my recent experience with it myself. And boy, did I learn some lessons.
And those are just, those are the decisions you're gonna have to make, and it's basically, if you allow it for one, in fairness sake, you allow it for others. And I do understand that the thing about death. I was on the Students Appeals Committee. I didn't write this up. You'll get it at the end. For 5 years. So I heard every appeal at the college for a 5-year period.
Oh, wow.
And death, anything with death, it affects people differently. It might be that it takes some people 6 months, and they're just, other people, it might not take as much. So being compassionate, I don't ever think is a problem. Okay. You don't want to be taken advantage of, but okay. So
that fine balance.
Yes. So what I'm doing is I am responding to some discussions, but not all discussions. You probably saw that already. I'm in there. I will ask questions. I'll add something if someone else won't add anything, but I'm really trying to be the more knowledgeable other who stands back and lets you share things. But I will jump in, like if things are going down the wrong path, I will jump in. My biggest example for the first two people who posted in Loopholes, like Ann and Tom, I read Ann's and I'm like, Ann's, yours is so good. I'm so glad you took the time to find out from both students what was going on. And I was going to write that up, and then I happened to refresh, and Tom had already said that. Okay?
Yeah.
Tom had already pointed that out. Okay? So there was no need for me to do that. And Ray's doing a really good job of that also. So as an instructor with this kind of discussions, where people are coming in with knowledge and where they can share experiences, I'll stay back there. Oh, but I wanted to show you this. Okay. Ray, what does this mean without Googling? and I'm watching your shoulders, so I will know if you move for the phone.
TLDR.
Catherine. It's okay.
I don't know. TL just, I think of teacher learner, but I and then D, and I don't know.
Okay, no problem. Consider it internet speak. It's TLDR. Too long, didn't read, or
yes, okay.
Okay. So the way that people adjust on Reddit and different blogs when they feel like they've been writing too much, because I saw that from a couple people. A couple people said, I apologize, I'm writing too much, blah, blah, blah. What people do is they'll put on Reddit and other places, they'll put a short, say paragraph, the abstract there, right?
Yeah.
And then underneath it, they'll put the letters TLDR. So it signifies, it's like self-deprecation. Going, okay, so this is my opinion, but then I'm going to give you all the research about why my opinion's that way. And people will just put TLDR and put that there. And not that anybody has to do that, but I just noticed that a lot of people, in a very nice way, were saying, I know I might have written too much. So just wanted to show you guys this. You don't have to use it. It is very slang. But you will see it in some blogs. You'll see it up on Reddit and some other places where kind of people live online with text. So I just wanted to throw that out to you guys. Okay. Learning with technology. that's really what that whole discussion about, so what are you, um, and the digital native and the digital immigrant, really what it's about. It's to get you thinking about it.
Ray, I think it was you who posted some of those links not refuting, but
No, it's okay.
arguing the point that maybe these identifiers are more fluid than rigid roles.
Yeah, these labels,
I enjoyed those.
do they apply anymore? And Prensky came up with those, quite a few years ago, and things have changed.
Yeah, 18, 17 years. And I was thinking, like, if he rewrote that article, how would he rewrite it? Although he's probably, if he's alive, he's probably rewritten versions of it or whatever.
Yeah, there's been some updates on it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, Kay and Ray. I enjoyed both perspectives. It did make me more aware of my learning style and kind of like these dark gaps of things that I just don't use. And I can't even tell you why I don't use them. Mm-hmm. Because I can't tell you, well, I know for a fact that doesn't support my learning style. All I can tell you is I haven't really thought about it, but I'm going to think about it now.
No, I mean, the thing of it is, the reason I put it there was for people to think, and also because in pop culture, you will consistently see the term digital native. You'll see it like digital native. Now, no one's saying digital immigrant anymore, but they are saying digital native, so I wanted you guys to know where it came from. And not to go, something like the research from Oxford said. No. Okay.
I think some of the use of the terms was turning people off too, because, it's 2018 and a lot of people don't identify themselves as a something hippie, when in fact I was like, oh, that's a great way to describe a certain experience. So many of my friends are digital hippies because they were the people that they were exposed to computers, when they were becoming like in use, and they were writing the programs and all the code and all this kind of stuff, and in Microsoft and Apple and all that. So it's interesting. I was never that. I was totally in a different universe, but I knew a lot of those guys, mostly guys actually, not women.
Yeah, no, I will tell you, in my experience was I was in drama club, okay? That, but our lighting guys, our lighting guys did that, and our lighting guys, knew how to make it over to like what the one computer that could have, someone could do something on, So
I knew, what's funny is I knew what my friends were doing, and I thought it was cool, and I had like zero interest in learning what they were doing because I was so in such a different space, focusing in arts, and the arts was really so different in terms of how they use technology and at what point they started using technology, which is unbelievable because you would think the arts, well, in certain areas they used it early, like some of the audio engineers, and they were using stuff really early on, but dancers are poor. Choreographers are poor. I mean, you're lucky if you can pay rent and buy vegetables, let alone audio and video equipment. Anyway, sorry to digress. I'm enjoying this review.
It's okay. And one thing I wanted to bring up, and this might help somewhere along the way, I just didn't see anybody referencing it, but it's not a requirement. I just didn't see anybody referencing it. But just when you're thinking about online versus face-to-face, I mean, even now, Catherine, the thing of it is I am seeing your face. So there are, so you're a very real person to me. And the online disinhibition effect is not coming in.
Yeah.
I'm unlikely to say something like, your answer sucked, or something. Not that I ever should, but that, I just wanted to, as you're getting more into the evolving scenario, just to remember the online disinhibition effect that can take hold to students sometimes. I don't think I've seen any of it in this class. I wouldn't expect to, but sometimes it does. And I'm just tossing it up there. We don't have to discuss it, but just tossing it up there. Okay. You guys are doing pretty good. Now, there was a mention of peer reviews. And peer reviews, some disciplines like to do it, some disciplines don't like to do it. The best thing, if you're not used to peer reviewing, I would say is Oreo it. And this was one of my business professors who said, say something nice, then do the critical thing, then say something nice again.
Oh, yes. I understand the sandwich. Yeah.
Yes. and she's so for those of you who have been writing, I think especially in the evolving scenario, and Tino already went ahead and he wrote about it. You know, he does composition. They peer review all the time.
Yeah.
And I don't have a magical formula for peer reviewing. When I was teaching marketing, yeah, they had to peer review. there wasn't a question. Game design, you really peer review. I mean, in game design, we even have something called the post-mortem, which means afterwards you talk about all the problems with the game. So depending on the content, it could make a difference. Loopholing stories, so far, really good, okay? So I don't have much to say about that there. Now, okay, yes, I was emailed about the plagiarism spectrum. This is a plagiarism spectrum. It's one of the optional things. Okay, now the thing of it is, the link for this beautiful infographic is no longer available. So the link that I put up instead is the white paper, and the white paper is only 10 pages, but they do like a page on each of these things. So I'm hoping turn it in makes, you know, like maybe they're refreshing it and maybe that's why they took it down. But this is optional, and just if you clicked on there and you saw that it went to a 404, you can go back and the white paper's there, so you can go ahead and take a look at it. And it's kind of a fun graphic. Now let's see. So we're almost ready to close up now. Okay, so in the coffee house, we got a question. We got a question about how do I have my students do oral presentations? Guess what?
Yeah.
Hangout, this, and I was going to say, we tried Discord for our last one. Okay, so I usually do like a little wrap-up at the end of the week. We might use Discord for that, just so we can take a look at there. And then this is, Ray brought this one up. Okay. Now, this is Twitch. And Ray, any kind of comment you want to make there, if you were doing alliterations or something like that, that's what's going on. But I will bring up Twitch. So go ahead and do the premise of why you brought up Twitch.
Well, so I was looking for a way to live stream class. You know, that would be kind of, I was hoping to find one easy to use. One of the things I liked about Twitch was it had embed code. You can embed code into a web page. But found, you know, you've only got 10 minutes to set up in between classes.
Yeah.
It took a little longer than 10 minutes. I could do some fun stuff with it, but it was just a little more overhead than I was hoping for. And I was also looking for something that other instructors could use. Mm-hmm. So that's why we kind of looked at Zoom. But I thought Twitch was fun. I thought it would have been a neat place to live stream class to.
And what you're seeing here is, like, Twitch has two different, like, genres it does. It does games, and then it has something that it calls creative. And Twitch, when it was getting started, I think it was about 4 years ago, but one of the first things they did was they got all the Bob Ross Joys of Paintings and put them on as a huge marathon. So if you're ever looking for that, you can go to Twitch. And Twitch just keeps, like, they have some recorded, but they just keep playing these marathons. And this is a recording, but if you can see here on the side, people can make comments. And I'm hoping there's nothing bad in there.
And that was the other thing, too, was, you know, we couldn't restrict that to the domain or anything.
Oh, yeah.
So I didn't know if I wanted to transmit my class live to the world.
Yes, this is the Wild West, okay? And like I said, the creative, you can put yourself as a gamer or a creative. creative, so I'm going over here and, Bob's still playing while I'm doing this. But it's a lot of the people who go over in creative are people who like to make videos or graphics or things like that. Somebody's, I see making Japanese woodblock prints. And what people are doing is it's called streaming. So they're just going on there and they're talking. And they're hoping people will, they're hoping people will decide to, oh, I want to watch this. And quite honestly, let's see, they're going to make me do a commercial, probably. Commercial, get done quick. Okay, so we got the Japanese wood print. And with the streamers, one of the characteristics are you see their face, and then it's something else they're doing on screen. And speaking of doing things on screen, Ray, do you want to show what you've been doing? You can take over the screen, or you can just draw on this.
You guys, I can't stay on much
longer.
Catherine,
it's okay.
And I didn't want to break apart. I didn't want to just leave, but I have to wrap it up in a couple minutes.
No problem.
But tell me what Twitch would be used for an example of doing a live lecture or a live oral presentation that a student is supposed to give, or?
Okay, here's what I would say about Twitch. Twitch is a little advanced. So I would say start out with Zoom or Google Hangout. Then come to the instructional design centers and the instructional designers and say, I'm ready to do Twitch.
Gotcha. Okay.
Now, Catherine, I transmit my classes live using Zoom. So we do a live stream from the classroom up on Larimer campus. And it doesn't take any extra technology. I have a surface that I can write on. I make the desktop computer there, one member, throw it on the whiteboard, and I can actually walk around the room as I write on my tablet and work with students.
Yeah, I was thinking that it would be, at some point I want to learn how to do a demo of some of the software, the nutritional analysis software that the students have to use. And at some point I want to learn how to plug in to my smartphone so I can show them different apps and how they compare. I don't know how to do that yet.
What campus are you on?
Westminster.
Okay. We can help you with that. We can help you with both of those.
Okay, great.
Start of the semester too.
Okay. And Ray, I was looking forward to seeing what you had on Twitch. I just realized what time it is, so I'm gonna have to go.
I've never done anything with Twitch. I found it to be a little too complicated, so I never wound up using it.
Oh, that's what you. I'm sorry. You just said you do it. You use Zoom, not Twitch, and you were saying that was it. I'm sorry. I'm flopping.
It's okay, and we're just showing possibilities. Quite honestly.
Yeah.
And Zoom, I think Zoom's the easiest.
Yeah. I like this is easy. So I do like straightforward. I do tend to, as a digital immigrant, self-identify, and I do have to kind of resist the urge to panic and feel like maybe I'm too old to start teaching. This is a new world. Am I not current enough? But I think if I just relax and exhale and realize I can learn these tools, and if I can learn them, my students can, and not to feel like I have to do too much, that I need to always keep in mind the key point of teaching is to help the students learn in the pedagogy before the technology, but the technology should support the pedagogy. Pedagogy. I'm sorry, I don't know. I think I might have mispronounced that word.
No, Catherine, you've made it so I can't pronounce it now, okay?
Yeah. It's pedagogy, isn't it?
Pedagogy.
Oh, it's pedagogy. Okay. There you go. I make up pronunciations.
No, it's okay. It's pedagogy somewhere.
Yeah. Okay? Pedagogy. Okay, thank you.
But it's okay, and you can leave whenever you want to, but we are winding down. Okay. Remember, online learning is another domain, but you know what you're doing. You know how to teach, and I'm ending up here. Now, Ray, I don't know if you wanted to demonstrate what you were demonstrating to me earlier before we leave.
Sure. Stop your screen share, and I'll share mine.
Okay. Stop my share. Okay. There we go. We're back. Okay.
So, and Catherine, this may be something you're interested in. So I'm going to just change cameras here. And this is a whiteboard with a little dot cam. So a little $99 dot cam from Amazon. And you can actually put something underneath that, such as a calculator, or write on the whiteboard.
Sorry.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. That,
No,
No problem.
a classic student thing to do, right? Forget to turn off the phone. All right. Go ahead. Sorry.
yeah. So you've got a whiteboard. I've got actually a grid on it since I teach math. And you were talking about wanting to do some stuff on your phone. You can actually put that underneath the dot cam. You wanted to look at some stuff on a different device, even. Kind of real low tech then. So you don't have to have the expensive tablet to write on, but you just need a little dot camera. You can kind of do the same thing on a smartboard too. Be able to write on it if you don't have access to something that has a tablet on it, a stylus. But I found the dot cam pretty well, and this is, like I said, this is what I use for office hours. Well, I can have students come in, I can write on the board, I can pull stuff up, I can give them feedback on tests in an online environment, put that into their D2L shell, whether it's from the dot cam or a screen image. So I'll have a PDF editor that I can actually pull up and work with them on anything digital.
Okay. Oh, all right. I have a little webcam thingy on a stick, a real kind of old-fashioned one.
That's okay.
I never thought to you. Okay, that's good to know.
And
So-
I mean, because John and I have played around with iPads where we've used lanyards and walked around with the iPads, to film things. And then we saw this other thing that was just putting your iPad that would be, say, live streaming in an egg carton, as a holder, and that's just propping the iPad up so that you could do it. So, there's
right.
lots of creative things like Ray's showing us.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So in the classroom, I mean, I'll have 4 or 5 iPads out and just bring everybody in as a Zoom member, and then everybody can write on the board at the same time.
Oh, you're making my head spin. Okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Okay. So we don't have time this week to talk about
Okay.
cognitive overload and cognitive surplus. But if anytime you feel you need to walk away from what we're suggesting, like you're going, oh, Twitch, that's too much, walk away. Don't listen. Just
Okay.
it's okay.
Well, I'm glad I jumped in for the review. Thank you. And it's nice seeing both of you.
Yeah.
Nice
Okay.
seeing you too.
Yeah, and I really enjoy the comments, the posts that you both review.
Okay.
No, I think there's been some really good discussions there.
I think
Kate had that pretty well set up.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is going to be goodbye. So everybody say goodbye.
Bye.
I'm recording and that, and I'll have it up soon. Bye, everybody.
Okay, bye.
Yeah.